An almost full blender of broccoli blends down to pretty much nothing. That's what the broccoli blended down to, and I added about that much water. And what I do is I blend it, and then I reblend it, and I blend it to actually aerate it to increase the sulforaphane. The sulforaphane, when you mix the broccoli with air, it increases the sulforaphane. Other way you can do it is just chop it up real finely and let it sit for quite a while. But I figured out that by running it and rerunning it, I'll turn it on just a little bit. That way. It aerates it, and I'll do that a couple of times to make sure I get as much sulforaphane as possible. I also make chia seed pudding, which is very high in omega-3s. Plus it tastes pretty good if you put a little teeny bit of juice in there with it. I used a little bit of grape juice, just enough to give it flavor. I also let it ferment so that it takes away a lot of that sweetness, eliminates the sugars. It has a nice gelatinous consistency once it's been sitting for a while. I don't have an assistant to help me with filming, but I like to take the cilantro, and instead of putting it all in at once, I like to cut it with scissors so that the smaller pieces dig them out. Well, I pushed the wrong button at the wrong time, so I'll have to do some editing. But I use the scissors to cut them into smaller pieces so they don't stick around the bottom of the blender blade. Using the earth ground spring mix, I prefer it to the 50-50 because it's higher in spinach and higher in oxalates. But it has green leaf, it has mizuna, it has tango, it has oak leaf, it has chard, it has baby spinach. Arugula is very good for you. It has fraise, it has red leaf, it has lola rosa. Radicchio is actually really good for you. Baby butter, kale, and other ingredients, depending on seasonal crop. So far I've got all that chopped up cilantro and, quite a bit in the blender, and the broccoli with that whole lemon juice and pulp. I did take the seeds out, plus 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C. I loaded up with a spring mix that has about 12 or more ingredients in it, and put about a quarter of it, making it about 4 ounces, that I add to the blender. I try to use everything as organic as possible. These oranges came from a friend, a neighbor's tree. This is an ugly little orange, as you can see, but it's probably one of last year's greened in the winter because it's pretty old looking, and they have intense flavor. I try to use everything as much as possible as organic, but it's not always available, so I wash them off really well, and then I cut. And if it's a smaller orange, I use the whole orange. If it's a larger orange, I'll cut it and use half. I cut half an orange and quartered it, and after washing it off really well, skin and all, a lot of the nutrition, the best part, is definitely in the skin. It got a little sloppy on me, as you can see, and it's basically not even much over half with all of that blended down. And now I have some more cabbage, and I have some peas that I'm going to add there, and I'll add those in just a little bit. Waste not, want not. Don't throw away the bottom stems of the cabbage. This was a baby cabbage here. I'm going to chop that all up and add this to the, I like the outer greener leaves, but These still have a little bit of green to them, but I'll chop them up and add to the blender. So I've added the cabbage and about a dozen sugar snap peas. I try to add as much as I have. The more the merrier. At least now my camera's wanting to focus. So I'm adding a red organic cut up pepper as well. It's a bell pepper. Once again, use organic when you have it. This one's been in the fridge a few days, but that won't affect it any. So I now added the half a big organic bell pepper. Definitely, if you use carrots, get the organic carrots. Years ago, when I co-founded the California Cooperative of Organic Growers with my then partner, Rich Hart, who still is in charge of Rainbow Valley Orchards down in Rainbow, California. Danny Duncan, Cal Organics, he was one of the carrot growers that we certified. Carrots concentrate soil toxins about 100-fold. So growing organic carrots and using organic carrots is really the only way to go. So now on top of the cabbage, the sugar snaps, the carrots, the red peppers, the asparagus, I also added a cucumber.